Right. Recently, a place I work at a lot, Hawaiian Brian's in right on the outside of Waikiki, just got an Allen and Heath SQ6, a console. I am remember I'm a recording engineer, not a live sound guy, and I am struggling to get along with the software of this board. I understand its appeal, and it has a lot of cool things about it. And so the other night I had my band go up, and we didn't have our singer there, but we did a recording, just like, especially I could get the drums. With this SQ6, I have a lot more inputs than I had before, so now I can actually do some serious recording over there. I can put in as many mics as I need. It's got 24 channels on it of mic preamps, and I could add more if I really want. So I'm struggling to say, do I really want to put up overheads? Do I want to put up under cymbal mics? But let's just take a look at what we got here. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here. So I just did a USB recording of this board. So let me. Oh, by the way, if you're in Hawaii, we got Clay Campagna coming up on the 20th. We got some other stuff before that, but this should be pretty cool. There's a rumor that Lenore the Shredder may be there. So November 20th over the Slack Key Lounge. I should be mixing this thing. So sorry about that, because I'm still learning this console, but it should be good by then. I got one show under my belt. I did a lot of testing and got my band up there. I can at least run it as good as I could run the QU16 that was over there. So anyway, let's get on with this. So I'm gonna save this to start the project by saving it. Grab all the tracks. So I'm just grabbing the waves. And interesting, I think I only armed a certain number of tracks. I mean, really, there's only 24 that matter. But I'm not really using them all anyway. But let's see what we got. See if I can remember what's what. I'm going to go through these and figure this out. So I don't need anything after. Ooh, well, that's interesting. After about there, let's say. And probably don't need anything for. And I don't need any of these tracks. There's nothing on them. Okay, so let's go through these and figure out what they are. Now, I have these. I should know what these are. I'm pretty sure I know what they all are. One should be kick. Let's just make sure of that. So this is one of those, I think it's called a Shure, like a Beta 91 or something. It's like a PZM mic that goes inside the kick drum. I've got an internally mounted mic like I have out in the big room over there. Whoa, ouch, God, it hurt. I'm sorry, everybody. So for an internally mounted mic, you hear a lot of snare, right? Now, I could mix this with our plugins, but what I want to be able to do is kind of figure out, let me pull this up, actually. And look, you Allen and Heath guys, I really need your help because, man, this software is, I should say, terrible. Seems terrible to me. This software is awful compared to the Behringer stuff or the Midas stuff. Feels like it's from Windows 95 days. There's not very many options, but I guess it turns out that there's the option, the routing inside the Allen and Heath is pretty limited compared to the Behringer stuff. But what I want to be able to do is to take I'm pretty much going to figure out what EQ settings and stuff work pretty well generally, and I want to save them as libraries. So if you guys know, can I save a library on one show and import it to another show? In fact, let me ask the Allen Heath guys that as well. Heath Facebook group, which has been pretty cool so far for the most part. Create libraries on one show. Share them with another show. I mean, if I have to do it by hand, I can do it by hand. But it'd be nice if I could create them here. Okay, so back to this. So for sure, this is a kick, right? Okay, so we're going to call that kick. This next one should be a snare. Okay, so that's a snare top. I don't have a snare bottom, but there's a snare. This should be a tom. Yeah, don't tap your toms, man. That's where you get into trouble. Let's see if he hits them. Also, this is the tom bottom. It's not going to sound as attacky as the top. I may switch to tom tops, but I don't usually like them. I like them better on the bottom usually. There is this weird ring in that room at the might be the tom, might be the room, but on the second tom, it's the weirdest ring. Yeah, in fact, let's take a look at that other tom. Yeah, you can just hear that guy ringing. All right, so that's the tom. I gotta go tune that tom then. Tom 2. Next one should be tom 3, but I just want to check just in case something funny is going on. Tom. Nice. So one of my big questions was, do I want to put overheads up? Which I did. I did a cross pair, and it just ended up being a snare show. And I know, yes, overheads are a snare show, and there's ways to deal with that, but I don't know. I think I'm probably better put them underneath the cymbals, but I don't know. That's often awful. But we're gonna take a look at a couple things here. So this should be hat. The one thing I could do is duck this hi-hat track with the snare track to get the snare out of it. There may be a way to EQ it better, but maybe it's just not usable hat. Let's look at that right now. I know I didn't want to leave it. I wanted to name them first before I got into processing, but let me get an idea what this is like. Okay, so let me first of all see what kind of filter options do we have on the SQ6. Okay, so we can do, well, you can do some pretty hardcore filtering here. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to pop up our dynamic EQ, but it's going to be close. Filter. Pretty much the same. I don't know. Let's just roll this up as it goes. So this beginning part has 4 cymbal count and here's that flute sound I want to get rid of. Where is it? somewhere around 500 hertz, but okay. So now let's see how this is with the snare now. That's where it's going to be a problem. All right, so the snare is still pretty prevalent. How much of an issue that's going to be, that's for us to guess. So we could sidechain that snare and have it. Let's just try that. It's gonna be a pretty advanced technique. Sorry, I am figuring out something. Okay, so let's see about routing the snare into the hi-hat track. So I'm going to go pre-fader, post effects. Yeah, let me go post effects. Actually, I think it's going to be pre-fader or pre-effects. I'm not sure where the send thing is in Allen and Heath. Let's just do it pre-effects. I think it'll be okay. So I want that to go to 3 and 4. So this could be the side chain channels. You won't have to do this on an actual console. This is what you're going to see in Reaper or whatever. And any other app that can actually handle some basic routing from back in the day. Okay, so every time the snare hits, let's take a look at this. I'm going to listen to key listen and turn the side chain on. So notice we're on the hi-hat track, but we're hearing the snare, right? So that means the side chain's going the right way. Okay, so I don't need any of this mud down here, so we're going to filter out All I want it to trigger on is the snare itself. And I think you can do something like this on the SQ, this key filter. You can't listen to it, but I mean live, I don't know that you'd be able to anyway. So what I wanted to do is every time that snare hits, I'm going to duck the crap out of the on the compressor. And that way the snare should get out of the hi-hat track. But this might be horrible. Wait, let's see. I'm gonna turn it infinity to 1. Start very fast attack. I mean, in recording we could actually just keep it down. And I don't need to hold it much longer than it's there. Just get it out of that track. Because we do want to hear the hi-hat. So let's just take a look at what's going to happen here. Do you hear how loud the snare is in this hi-hat track? That's a problem, right? Let me play this again. The hi-hat's not really much louder. Hopefully there's not too much hi-hat in the snare track or this won't work at all. But I'm going to start turning down this threshold and let's see what happens. Okay, I know that sounds horrible in by itself, but let me just real quick, this is not what you're gonna be able to do live, but I'm gonna turn the look ahead on. See that? Now I can get rid of all that clicking and popping, right? But won't be able to do that in the real world, so here's what it's like that way. Not bad. Now you notice here's the problem. If the hi-hat and snare are hitting at the same time, goodbye hi-hat, right? Let's leave this alone for now. And let me get through the rest of these tracks here. So let's see what we got here. This should be the ride track, but there we go. Okay, so you see what this under cymbal stuff doesn't always sound very good. Let's see what we can do with that. But this is definitely the ride. And then here's where I used a cross pair of overheads, but I really think there's just gonna be too much snare here. But let's see. Me gain them about the same. Yeah, so I'm just raising this overhead until the snare seems about the same in both ears. Maybe come down a little bit. Sounds very mono. Sounds suspiciously mono. Hold on. Try some. Interesting. My mono button on my RME controller doesn't seem to be working. I'll deal with that in a little bit, but yeah, this just doesn't work. I'm gonna put the things on the symbol, so we'll see what we can do about this. So let me go through the rest of the tracks real quick and let's just make sure I got what I think I got. That is definitely bass. I think this is my guitar. I was running up and down off the stage in front of the speakers and forgot to put my tremolo bar in. So forget this performance. This performance is garbage. The important part is figuring out the sound here. That's my Helix. Ricky's got a Pod HD 5000 or whatever going. Guitar. That's it. So first thing I'm gonna do, make some folders. Now, of course, you can't do this on the console, but it's okay. So I'm gonna put all the drums in the drum folder. Bass. Call this a folder, even though it's not, just to make it convenient. I'm gonna put that in. Track. I can hide tracks, right? So now bass is a folder. Basically, we're gonna have 3 folders, and that's kind of analogous to buses on a console. We can do other stuff. So now I just have everything here. I've got drums, bass, guitars, right? So I can turn them down pretty easily as a group. I'm also going to make an overhead folder inside that folder. And live, I wouldn't be panning stuff like this, but that's a whole nother argument. I kind of like to, but okay, so I'm putting these overheads in here, and I'm not convinced these are the things to use. Again, I could do a side chain from the snare like I did with the hi-hat. Let's just try that. Don't know. Again, that means that anytime the snare hits, the overheads are going to duck out, which is probably going to sound horrible. Or I could just do like the old L1 snare eater trick, right? But I really think, I think I'm just going to do under cymbal mics because think it's just too much stage volume for overheads anyway. Let's take a listen to them first, and I'm going to see where I'm going to filter them out at. Definitely don't want the stage mud on there. And this is, remember, this is a band with 2 modelers on the stage, so it's nowhere near as loud as normally would be. It's painful. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Okay, so I don't need any of that mud, right? So go 12 dB an octave. The other thing is, do I have these overheads so that people with cymbal mics can hear the toms? I think I would rather just send them part of the toms than try and force it into the overheads. And as you'll see, that the toms aren't really going to be normally hit all that well anyway. So. I actually have a snare eater preset in here. I'm not sure that this is how I would do it. Yeah, there for the overheads. Okay, so what am I doing with this one? Infinity to 1 ratio, 0 attack, 100. I got 127 for the release. Might take that down. Let's see if I'm doing any filtering. Well, look, I'm looking right at a snare. So let's look at the snare right now. Actually, what we did for the hi-hat one's going to be very close. So we go to the compressor. Let's look at the key filter. So we're going from 108 to 1940, okay? 108 to 1940. $32,000, right? Okay, so this is going to be our key listen for this snare. So let's take a listen to what happens. I'll turn the threshold all the way back up. Hopefully a tom won't trigger this thing. So let's listen to this again. Yeah, but that gets really hokey, doesn't it? With the let's try this in context. I'm just going to solo the drums. Start with everything down except for the overheads. So who was that? Who was that loud hi-hat? Let's see where that is. Okay, so right there. Why is that getting so loud? Let's see who that is. Yeah, see, the hi-hats are the loudest thing, man. I mean, in the overheads. So that's a problem. Again, I think I'm just going to do the under cymbal mic thing. You hear how quiet everything else is? So listen, before the compressor kicks in. Okay. That tom just rings. Maybe I'll go. If I might have a thing downtown at Kaka'ako today. If so, I'm gonna I'll go see if I can't tune this tom better. That guy is just ringing along. Closest thing to SQ6's gate that I've got in here is probably gonna be regate. Look, man, this low tom never gets hit. Maybe I should just mic him from the top and suffer. All right, let's. Yeah, that's me walking up. I'm off the stage, I'm walking up to the monitor, and I've got Duncan blackouts, and I think just being that close to the monitor just starts the pickups feeding back. Oh, let's get a high pass filter on the ride. Use the one from the hi-hat. It should work just fine. We can go back and mess with it if not. So how much music is getting through the get picked up by all the other mics. And we're playing at a pretty quiet stage volume, and it's still a lot, right? And see, it's mostly coming from the overheads, which is yet another reason just to use those under cymbal mics. I know everybody hates them, but okay, hold on. My brother just was mixing on this, actually the same console as SQ7, but same thing for the first time. And I'm gonna see if I'm about to get an angry phone call from the guy I recommended him to. Hold on real quick. So I don't think he did his homework. So hold on. I'm gonna leave you guys with this playing for a second, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I have to find the links to these two things. 1 second. Okay, let's go. So there is a multi-band compressor and a sort of a dynamic EQ on the Allen and Heath stuff. It's pretty weird. I don't like it. And it's sad. You only get a couple effects racks, and I don't know. I don't want to complain too much, but it's a problem. I don't think you can do the dual like you can with the Behringer stuff. Like there's got a de-esser, but I think it's only one channel, or it treats them both the same. I know you guys love Allen and Heath, man. I'm telling you, the Behringer stuff, it's just better. Oh, sorry, Musictron. Is there a way in Reaper to add one plugin effects to multiple tracks at once? For example, adding a channel strip plugin to all my drum tracks. That's a good question. I thought there was. I'm pretty sure there's a script. Hold on, let me see. Let me go to Repack real quick. I'm not sure that my Repack is working right now. There's some kind of error. Hold on. See if this actually works. Oh, here comes our drum teachers. Where extensions were installed. Yes, this Elizabeth Harmon stuff. Stop working. Okay, so hit OK. Browse packages. Yeah, see, I can't, man. I got to get this figured out. Here, I'm hearing an armed mic. Hold on. Outside. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Of course you could save a template, but that's not helping you any. I don't know. It's a good question. I've had to do it before, so, or I've wanted very badly to do it before because I had to add a bunch of plugins. So that's a good question. I'll see if I can find a good answer. Okay, so. Okay, so what we're hearing right now, the big problem is these toms. The closest thing to a good gate that SQ5 has is going to be regate. So let's see if we can't get something close with that. I think the SQ5 or SQ whatever board, for its gates, let's look at this. Gate. Yeah, you can high pass filter, band pass filter, or low pass filter. So we're gonna be pretty close. So I can get off a different track or itself. We got pretty much all the controls we need. So let's use regate for this. So the toms, that's gonna be a huge problem because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get these toms. Let's do the kick first. I'm gonna want dynamic EQ, so I may as well add that. Yeah, see, I want to add dynamic EQ and regate to all the tracks, to kick, snare, and toms. So that would be good. I mean, I can do this, but I know this isn't what you asked, and watch this crash. Kick. And honestly, I'd probably want to put intuition on here too. Yeah, wow, what just happened? Save this first. See if I saved it anytime soonish. Otherwise, I would pull up a backup file. It won't be bad. Sorry about that. Tell our developer. Just talking about oof. Um, I think we actually fixed this, but let me check. Okay, so what I want to do, drag and drop these. It's funny because like I said, oh, it might crash, but that's something else. Okay, so let's go through these tracks. And again, you can't do it soloed like this in the while you're using the thing live, right? I mean, you can PFL solo to your headphones or whatever, I guess. Yeah, man, anytime yeah. So music Sean saying this has been driving me nuts. This is the thing about Reaper, like so often that guaranteed, if a script doesn't exist, if a custom action doesn't exist, it could be made, and so do you look for it, or do you try and just go to the Reaper user group and ask somebody if they can make the script, and then after somebody makes it, you'll find out that it was already made, and then you feel really bad for wasting that person's time asking them to make a script. So yeah, I understand your pain. See about getting this kick going. Now, your first instinct, right, is to say, oh, well, this is a kick drum, so I just want to have the lows triggering it. And I'm going to float dynamic EQ so we can see the RTA real quick. I guess I could have done it with span. I have span up here, but let's just look at the frequencies. Okay, so this thing has got tremendous low end. We're probably going to have to take some out. So that's the part that's telling you the information, right? Right here. Kick, 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 kick. And that is, what do you say that is? Like 50 hertz or something, right? Your first inclination is to say, hey, let's low pass the detector down to 50 hertz. But the problem is it takes a very long time for the gate to open if that's what it's listening to. So check this out. Okay, so we're just listening to the filter. Okay, here we go. Now watch what happens if I raise the filter up. You can make it open a lot sooner if it's really listening to higher stuff. The highest frequency contents can open it faster. And that's sad because that's where everything else is hanging out, right? You may be surprised. So let's kick the gate back off and let's listen to kick and snare. Okay, so you see this right here? Right here at about 200, that's a snare. There's a spot up here where the kick might be listening to. Might not. Let's go check it out. I'm going to set the high pass filter pretty high. Somewhere around 1.5K. Okay, so if you look at the meter, watch how the kick is a lot louder right there than the snare, right? But even though this isn't listening to the low frequency of the kick at all, it luckily, because this mic's internal to the kick, we might be able to open it a little bit earlier. Because remember, the attack time on this thing is it's in the microseconds, but I'm going to put 1 millisecond to simulate it. Yeah, I'm missing some kicks, right? Look for a quiet one over here. Quiet one. It's that quiet one. I mean, you might want to change this to an expander, so it's not as good of a rejection, but it doesn't lose, you know? Okay, now we got a snare bleeding through, right? So the other choice is take the high pass out, let it open up from that kick. That seems a lot safer. I'm just gonna just do that for this. Yeah, let's look at the snare. Actually, let's look back at the kick real quick. I want to hold it a little bit longer. This could be a problem when there's like bass and stuff. Actually, that like 100 and 100 seems pretty okay. I guess we could look at the waveform here. Why don't we do that? So I'm going to measure this waveform. So that's the whole kick right there. That is 157 milliseconds total. So there's really not that much time. Main part of the body here. 75 milliseconds. I'm going to change this to 75 and 75. Let's see if that's any worse. Pretty good, actually. Let's look at the snare. I mean, this is all stuff you can't do live, right? You can't just go and measure this stuff and there's nothing there. Measure the snare. So the whole thing happens again in about 200 milliseconds. At least the part that matters to us. So and what are we looking at for frequencies? Strong component at 500 hertz, but the big one is 215, 213. Probably want to high pass this. I don't think anything's going to open this butt snare. So let's give this. Pretty good. I'm going to put these toms in a folder for a second, just for convenience. But all that compression we're hearing, that's the overhead still. Okay, just so nobody freaks out. Okay, now it's going to get ugly. Just trying to get these toms to gate. And this is my fault. I mic them on the bottom often so I can keep the cymbals out of them. I think we're going to be micing these on the top. In fact, this may be a useless endeavor here because I think I've got to mic these on the top. There may be enough information. Okay, so 145 hertz is where these guys are opening. I doubt we're going to be able to get Regate to work with this, but give it a try. So I'm really going to narrow in on there. So I'm going to go 100. Let's go 200 and 100. Let's listen to that filter. It's not that much louder than the rest of the stuff, but it might do. Let's see. Let's look how long these toms are. Toms can be pretty long. But the symbol, I mean, unless we got multi-band gate, which we don't. Actually, we're going to talk about that. I don't know about this time, but we're definitely going to talk about that later. Give me 1 second. Ten, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. The Binger, that's a feature that's already included in Reaper. You have to select the multiple tracks, right? Click on the effects button, right click on the set plugin, and choose add the selected tracks. Oh, is that right? Hold on. So if I wanted to, sorry, yeah, they're teaching drum classes today. The drum teacher's just paying his part. Okay. So click. Yeah, see, you learn something every day. Look, being one of the 3 original creators of Reaper doesn't mean that I know anything about this program anymore. I use it for what I use it for, and it has passed me. I still don't use Razor editing for anything. I know I'm missing out. Okay, so select the multiple tracks, click on the effects button, then right click on said plugin, choose add to selected tracks. Let's say I was going to put Helix on here, which I'm not. No, let's say I'm going to put dynamic EQ, which will probably crash this thing, but that's okay. So here we go. Dynamic EQ, right click, add to selected tracks. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Musictrod, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay. See? There we go. All right. So let me get back to this Tom. Sorry. Oh, yeah. How long is this? And again, it's probably going to be about the same as the kicker snare. We're talking, these are the close mics, right? These are the impact ones that don't need to last forever. I would love it if multi-band gate worked on here, because then I could make this thing 900 milliseconds long. But I think that's asking for cymbals to torture the crap out of you. So I'm going to say, see if we can find a single hit. We shape this right, 300 milliseconds. Maybe not much of a hold. Let's just say 50 milliseconds of hold, and let the rest of it just get out of there. Around 300 milliseconds. I really don't want to bring a cymbal into here. That's why I don't want, so. Okay, so let's go back to where these toms were. Kinda. Look, you know what? I'm thinking I'm just gonna go that 75 and 75. It's gonna sound a little bit artificial, but I don't think there's time before them cymbals mess it up. Even then, you hear that cymbal, man. Oh. Boom, so if I have a compressor in here, this cymbal right here is gonna mess it all up. Either that or just make the tom super short. Super, super short. Sucks. Yeah, I'm going to put 0 release. This isn't going to be how it's going to be, but let's just see what happens. Still, okay, so that means there might be a threshold problem. Okay, I am hearing drums from in there. I think you guys might be hearing those too. That means that something's coming through. Check, 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 check. Something's coming through. Mic free 1 and 2. Why would I have it set like that? Crazy. I don't think that's going to be on the main speakers, right? No. See? Oh, man. I knew I was hearing something. So, yeah, this is all, but I never use the headphones in here. That's why. Okay, let me store that. Okay, let me try, see if it's on the second one. Yep, there it is. Stuff gets so complicated so fast. Okay. All right, here we go again. Picked all the hold out. If you're still hearing hiss after that, that means, or symbol after that, that means the threshold needs to come up. But I'm thinking if the threshold comes up, I'm going to lose this tom. That's why it'd be so awesome to have multi-band gate for this. But let's try this now. So I'd be okay with that if it didn't click off. So this is short, but we're just looking for impact live, right? Now that click may be unavoidable. And in balance, it may not matter. Let's take a look at this other one. Or we go crazy. 30 milliseconds hold, 60 milliseconds release. See about the other one. That click's probably going to be there. It probably don't matter. Let me mute the other toms. Let me see what happens with that click in the mix. It's weird that it drops out right there. Let's add the bass to it real quick. I think that's going to be okay, actually. I got to go over there and retune one of these drums too, so. Okay. I'm going to assume these settings are going to be pretty close on these other ones. And it's so crippling. Like, in your recording studio, you have all these tools to fix this stuff. But live, you are at the mercy, man. Okay, let's try Tom 2 here. So let's look for that whatever that regular resonant frequency of the tom is. Yes, this tom is just talking at 200 hertz. It's well, picture real quick. All right, so yeah, this tom's been driving me nuts. So obviously, that's probably the snare that's making this sucker ring. But so its resonant frequency is like down there, 95 hertz. So I'm gonna email myself real quick frequencies of these toms. What was that first one? It was 140. 2 is 96 hertz. Yeah, let me get 3 real quick while I'm here. Did he hit 3? He didn't hit 3. Maybe he didn't hit it at all. Isn't that the funnest? You go and mic up everything and nobody ever hits the thing. I like when they have like a million toms. They're like, yeah, mic every single one, then they never hit it. I think he hits it right here. That's the bottom frequency. That's not necessarily. Put that in my notes, bottom heads. There's 2 frequencies going on here. Sure why they're talking to each other. Got 141, which is the same as the first tom. Is he hitting this first tom at the same time? No. So the other one, 72 hertz, man. That is low. We could probably assume that there's resonant frequencies above there. I could tune the toms to that. So this is actually pretty educational for me. So 140, 96, and 72. Now, having 1 and 3 be the same note, that's not good. So let's talk about that. So let's gonna get the gate working for a second. Looking for 96 hertz. So again, ouch. I want to get out of the bottom heads. This is gonna be hard. I'm not sure if the SQ can actually do this. So get my last. I should have stored my USB key last night. I'm an idiot. Maybe I'll be down there today. We'll see. If I do go to the gate, so if I go to the gate and I do bandpass, I'm gonna. I don't know how tight these filters are, but can I go? No, the lowest I can go is 120. Okay, so this sucks. Let's go low pass. No, lowest I can do is 120. All right, so we are kind of screwed here. Yeah, ouch. Okay. But again, there's a chance that the second that the harmonic is going to be pretty in there. Let me take a look. Who is this? Is Tom 2? Okay, so that's a problem, right? I can't get the software to go low enough for that Tom. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We'll see. But I still want to get the rest of the parameters as close as I can get them. Anyway, so this is not going to be good. 90. Again, it may be just enough volume to pop that sucker open, but I don't know. Low pass. The other one, 140. So as long as I'm well under 140. But look, this is a tiny window to listen to. Let's listen to that. That's not much, right? What we do 30. 60. I know we want to make these so much longer, but really can't. 3167. Be perfect. It's gonna be close. I ain't gonna get it very close at all on the board. I don't think you can do direct entry on that board. Definitely want to get this out of snare and kick range. If these get tapped, we're screwed. You know, back in the old days, even for recording, this was all you had, right? But I think I don't know how much I realistically can get done because I think I need to go retune that. Tune that tom pretty badly. And this one's like 70. I don't know if it's going to open at all. We'll see. Yeah, I want to make it so much longer, and this is so ridiculously short. Yeah, multi-band gate onto Waves sound grid or whatever. This could be better top mic than bottom mic. There might be a lot more. I mean, it's gonna be different frequencies anyways. So I don't know what am I. But this should be a lot cleaner now. Let's take a listen. Hear how fast that dies? It's just so gross. I don't know if I should make it part of this bus or. Oh, that's a good question. Should I return my gated reverb to the drum bus? Maybe I should. Let me write me a memo. Yes. Return the gated reverb to the drum bus. I'm constantly making notes, man. Like this is the life of the engineer. We should be using our gated reverb, but I need Dave to get back to something. A hollow one. I think they might have had like a gated something and we see if this helps with the toms. That is gross. Okay. So Do I got to get the tom sounding better before I bother giving it to that? Let's see. That's just a gross sounding reverb. That just does not sound like a gated reverb. Let's try a different one. So muddy. Well, send that to another reverb. Oh, blah. I know I haven't EQ'd the toms yet, but better. But let's really EQ these toms. I haven't put compressors on this stuff either, so. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what order the EQ and compressor go in. EQ before compressor. Okay. So that's okay then. Okay, so I'm going to crank the output on the EQ. Not too bad. think that's about as good as I can get this for now. I should be back later.